Some cars are remembered for their sleek designs, powerful engines, and the thrill they give drivers. But not every engine under the hood lives up to the hype. In fact, some engines have dragged down even the most legendary vehicles. What happens when a car, known for its performance or status, ends up with a powertrain that's more of a curse than a gift? Today, we're taking a closer look at iconic cars that were held back, not by their looks or reputation, but by the very engines meant to make them shine. From unexpected failures to infamous disasters, these engines left their mark in all the wrong ways. Stick around till the end to see if your favorite car made the list. Some of these might surprise you. Whether you're a car enthusiast, a gearhead, or just curious about automotive history, this is a must-watch for anyone who loves cars but hates when they fall short of their potential. Cadillac Vive 864, 1981 Cadillac Eldorado. In the early 80s, Cadillac tried to innovate by introducing the V864 engine in the 1981 Eldorado. On paper, it sounded revolutionary. A V8 that could deactivate cylinders to improve fuel efficiency. The idea was to automatically switch between 8, 6, or 4 cylinders, depending on the driving conditions. However, in reality, it became a nightmare for owners and mechanics alike. The technology was ahead of its time, and the electronics to manage cylinder deactivation were unreliable. Drivers experienced erratic switching between cylinders, which resulted in rough driving, inconsistent power delivery, and stalling. The engine control module, ECM, wasn't advanced enough to handle such complex tasks smoothly. Instead of better fuel efficiency, drivers found themselves dealing with frustrating reliability issues. Adding to the disaster, Cadillac had built its reputation on smooth, powerful V8 engines. The V864 tarnished that image by making a once premium car feel sluggish and unrefined. While the concept of cylinder deactivation is now common and well executed in modern cars, back in 1981, Cadillac's implementation was far from perfect. Despite Cadillac offering fixes and updates, the damage to its reputation was already done. The engine was quickly phased out, and it's now remembered as one of Cadillac's biggest missteps. This engine not only hurt the Eldorado's legacy, but also showed how technological ambition, without proper execution, could severely backfire in the automotive world. Chevrolet Vega 2.3-liter aluminum inline-4 Chevrolet Vega. The Chevrolet Vega, introduced in 1970, was GM's attempt to compete with the influx of small, fuel-efficient cars from Japan and Europe. The Vega's 2.3-liter aluminum inline-4 engine was designed to be lightweight and efficient, a significant departure from the heavy cast-iron blocks of the time. However, what seemed like a forward-thinking engine design quickly became one of GM's biggest engineering failures. The Vega's aluminum engine block was innovative but deeply flawed. Unlike modern aluminum engines, the Vega's block didn't use iron cylinder liners, relying instead on a unique coating to protect the cylinders. Unfortunately, this coating was insufficient, leading to rapid wear and oil consumption problems. As the engine wore down, it began to overheat, which was compounded by an inadequate cooling system. To make matters worse, early models suffered from poor build quality, with numerous reports of premature rusting and engine failures within a few years of ownership. The 2.3L engine was prone to burning oil excessively, leading to smoky exhausts and frequent mechanical breakdowns. Many owners found themselves pouring more oil into their cars than gasoline. Despite a recall to address some of these issues, the damage was irreparable. The Vega's reputation as an affordable, reliable car quickly crumbled, and the engine became synonymous with failure. By 1977, the Vega was discontinued, leaving behind a legacy of disappointment for GM. The poorly executed aluminum engine severely tarnished the car's potential and became a symbol of cost-cutting gone wrong in American automotive manufacturing. Ford 4.2-liter Essex V6 2005 Ford Mustang. The 2005 Ford Mustang marked the beginning of the retro-styled S197 generation, which brought back the classic Mustang look, much to the delight of enthusiasts. However, while the V8-powered GT models earned praise for their performance, the base model, powered by the 4.2-liter Essex V6, left a lot to be desired. The Essex V6 was originally designed for Ford's truck lineup, where it performed adequately for hauling duties. However, when placed into a muscle car like the Mustang, it fell short of expectations. Producing a mere 210 horsepower, it was severely underpowered compared to the V8 models, offering little of the performance or excitement that Mustang fans craved. For a car with such a storied history of speed and power, this engine felt like a step backward. Beyond the lackluster performance, the Essex V6 also had issues with reliability. Known for problems with its head gaskets and cooling system, the engine often required repairs far sooner than expected. These issues further damaged the Mustang's reputation among buyers seeking both performance and dependability. The Essex V6 made the base Mustang feel more like a compromise than a true muscle car, leading many enthusiasts to overlook it in favor of the pricier but more capable V8 versions. As a result, this engine is often remembered as a misfit in the Mustang's proud lineup, unable to live up to the car's iconic status. Pontiac Iron Duke 2.5-liter inline-4 Pontiac Fiero. The Pontiac Fiero, introduced in 1984, was a small mid-engine sports car with a lot of promise. However, the base model was equipped with the underwhelming Iron Duke 2.5-liter inline-4 engine, which ultimately harmed the car's potential and reputation. Designed more for economy than performance, the Iron Duke produced only 92 horsepower, far too little for a car intended to be sporty and fun to drive. This engine wasn't just slow, it was also prone to serious issues. One of the most notorious problems was its tendency to overheat, which, in some cases, led to engine fires. This wasn't just a minor flaw, it became a dangerous and well-publicized defect that cast a shadow over the entire Fiero line. The Fiero soon became infamous, not for its design, but for reliability issues tied directly to the Iron Duke. Additionally, the Iron Duke's rough operation and lack of refinement clashed with the Fiero's otherwise innovative design. It was an economy-focused engine placed in a car that people expected to be a nimble, affordable sports car. The mismatch in performance expectations further damaged its appeal to buyers. Pontiac did eventually offer a V6 option that improved the Fiero's performance, but by then, the damage was done. The Iron Duke engine had already marred the Fiero's reputation, leading to its short production run and eventual discontinuation in 1988. What could have been a revolutionary car was held back by an engine that simply couldn't live up to its ambition. AMC 4.2, L inline-6, Jeep CJ5. The AMC 4.2, L inline-6 engine introduced in the 1970s, powered several Jeep models, including the iconic CJ5. While the CJ5 is known for its rugged off-road capabilities and adventurous spirit, the 4.2-liter engine failed to match the tough reputation of the Jeep name. The engine produced modest power, around 110 horsepower, and lacked the torque that a serious off-road vehicle needed. For a Jeep designed to conquer rugged terrain, the engine's low output made the CJ5 feel sluggish and underpowered, especially when climbing hills or towing. Off-road enthusiasts were often left wanting more torque to tackle tough trails and obstacles. Reliability was another major concern. The AMC 4.2-liter inline-6 became notorious for issues like oil leaks, poor carburation, and frequent stalling. The carburetor was especially problematic, often becoming clogged or out of tune, leading to poor fuel delivery and reduced performance. These issues were made worse by the engine's cooling problems, which could lead to overheating, especially during hard off-road use or in warm climates. Maintenance was frequent and frustrating for owners, as they often had to deal with deteriorating engine parts that couldn't withstand long-term use. Although Jeep eventually switched to more reliable and powerful engines, the damage to the CJ5's reputation was already done. The AMC 4.2L made what should have been an unstoppable off-road machine feel like it was always running on empty. Despite the CJ5's cult following, the 4.2-liter engine is remembered as one of the weakest links in an otherwise capable vehicle. Chevrolet 305, small block Fiat, 8th third generation, Camaro and Firebird. The Chevrolet 305, small block 5.8, used in the third generation, Camaro and Pontiac Firebird, was a major letdown for enthusiasts who expected serious performance from these iconic muscle cars. Introduced in the early 1980s, the 305 was designed to meet strict emissions regulations and improve fuel economy. But in doing so, it sacrificed the power and performance that these cars were known for. The 305 V8 produced between 145 and 190 horsepower, far less than previous V8 engines used in the Camaro and Firebird. This was a significant disappointment for fans of American muscle, as it made the cars feel sluggish, especially when compared to the more powerful options from previous generations. The cars looked fast and aggressive, but the engine didn't deliver the performance to back up their appearance. Moreover, the 305 V8 was burdened with emissions controls and a restrictive carburetor, which limited its ability to breathe freely and produce the raw power muscle car fans expected. This combination led to uninspiring acceleration and overall lackluster driving dynamics. In addition to performance woes, the 305 had reliability issues. The engine was prone to excessive oil consumption and overheating, and its components wore out faster than expected, leading to costly repairs. For many, the 305 small block 5.8 was a symbol of how emissions regulations and cost-cutting measures negatively affected the American muscle car industry during the 1980s. It tarnished the reputation of both the Camaro and Firebird, making them less competitive in a market that demanded power and performance. Maserati B-Turbo 5.6. Maserati B-Turbo. The Maserati bi-turbo, launched in the early 1980s, was intended to make the brand more accessible and bring Italian luxury to a broader audience. To achieve this, Maserati equipped the car with a twin-turbocharged 2.5-liter 4.6 engine, which sounded like a great idea on paper. The concept of combining Italian styling with turbocharged performance seemed like a winning formula. However, the reality was far from ideal. The bi-turbo 5.6 was notorious for reliability issues, especially regarding the turbochargers. The turbos were prone to failure due to poor cooling and lubrication, often leading to catastrophic engine damage. Many owners found themselves dealing with frequent breakdowns and costly repairs. Beyond the turbo problems, the engine suffered from a complicated carburetor setup that was difficult to maintain and tune correctly. This led to inconsistent performance, poor fuel economy, and engine misfires. Ford 2.0 L Inline 4 Ford Pinto. The Ford Pinto is infamous not just for its engine, but for its overall design flaws, particularly the notorious fuel tank issues. However, the 2.0L inline 4 engine that powered the Pinto played a big part in its lackluster performance and reputation. Designed to be a budget-friendly compact car, the Pinto was equipped with this small engine, which produced around 86 horsepower. While it was meant to provide decent fuel efficiency during the fuel crisis of the 1970s, the engine's output was far from impressive, making the Pinto feel sluggish and underpowered. The 2.0L engine struggled to provide the necessary torque, especially when the car was fully loaded or climbing hills. It lacked the refinement of its competitors from Japan, such as the engines found in the Toyota Corolla or Honda Civic, which were far more reliable and better suited for small cars. The Pinto's engine often suffered from stalling and rough idling, making it an unpleasant experience for drivers. Adding to the disappointment, the 2.0L engine didn't have a good track record for durability. Engine components such as the timing belt were prone to early failure, leading to expensive repairs that weren't expected from an economy car. Combined with the Pinto's other design flaws, the engine only further solidified its status as a poorly executed vehicle. Despite its fuel efficiency goals, the Pinto's 2.0-litre inline-4 ultimately contributed to its reputation as a poorly performing car that failed to meet consumer expectations. Triumph Stag 3.0 LV8 Triumph Stag. The Triumph Stag, introduced in the early 1970s, was envisioned as a luxury grand tourer, combining stylish British design with sporty performance. However, the 3.0 LV8 engine that powered the Stag became a symbol of missed potential, plagued with serious mechanical issues that severely hampered its success. Designed in-house by Triumph, the 3.0 LV8 had several design flaws that led to chronic reliability problems. One of the most notorious issues was the cooling system. The Stag's engine had an inefficient cooling setup, with a radiator that was too small to handle the heat generated by the V8. This often led to overheating, which, if left unchecked, could cause significant engine damage, including warping of the cylinder heads. Additionally, the aluminum heads were prone to head gasket failures, further contributing to overheating and expensive repairs. Oil circulation was another problem. The engine suffered from poor oil flow, leading to accelerated wear of internal components. This made the Stag's V8 prone to breakdowns, requiring frequent and costly maintenance. In terms of performance, the engine produced only 145 horsepower, which was decent for its time, but the Stag's weight and mechanical issues often made it feel less powerful than its numbers suggested. Drivers found that it lacked the spirited performance one would expect from a V8, and it certainly didn't provide the reliability necessary for long-distance grand touring. Despite its beautiful design and high ambitions, the Triumph Stag's 3.0 LV8 engine became a notorious example of how poor engineering can ruin a car's legacy. It was a car that could have been great, but its engine made it a nightmare for owners, ultimately leading to its early demise. Compounding these mechanical issues, the bi-turbo engine often required constant maintenance, making ownership frustrating and expensive. For a luxury sports car, the Maserati bi-turbo's driving experience was far from smooth, with laggy acceleration and poor responsiveness due to the turbo lag and carburetor design. Instead of delivering the exhilarating performance that Maserati fans expected, the bi-turbo 5.6 damaged the brand's reputation. It became known as an unreliable and high-maintenance engine that couldn't live up to the Maserati name, ultimately tarnishing the car's legacy and leading to its swift decline in the market. BMW N63 V8 twin-turbo BMW 550i. The BMW N63 V8 twin-turbo engine, introduced in 2008, promised high performance and efficiency through advanced technology. Powering models like the BMW 550i, this 4.4-litre twin-turbo V8 delivered impressive horsepower and torque. However, despite its strong performance figures, the N63 quickly earned a reputation for being one of BMW's most problematic engines. One of the primary issues was excessive oil consumption. Owners reported that their vehicles required frequent oil top-ups, sometimes as often as every 500 to 1,000 miles. This not only made maintenance costly, but also led to concerns about engine longevity. Additionally, the N63 suffered from premature failure of key components, such as the valve stem seals, turbochargers, and timing chains. The design of the engine, with its hot V layout, turbochargers placed inside the cylinder banks, compounded these issues by exposing components to excessive heat, accelerating wear and tear. BMW eventually launched a customer care package to address some of the N63's widespread issues, but the engine's reliability concerns left a lasting stain on BMW's reputation, particularly for a brand known for luxury and engineering excellence. While the N63 packed a punch in terms of performance, the long list of mechanical problems and high maintenance costs turned it into a burden for many owners. Chrysler 2.7 LV6 Dodge Intrepid. The Chrysler 2.7 LV6 engine, introduced in the late 1990s, was designed to power a range of Chrysler and Dodge models, including the Dodge Intrepid. Initially praised for its smooth operation and decent fuel economy, the engine soon became infamous for one critical flaw: oil sludge buildup. This issue, caused by poor design and inadequate cooling, led to oil thickening and accumulating in the engine's internal components, eventually causing catastrophic failures. Sludge buildup would clog oil passages and starve the engine of lubrication, leading to overheating, warped parts, and ultimately engine seizure. These issues often occurred long before the car hit 100,000 miles, leading to widespread dissatisfaction among owners. Many complained about having to replace engines entirely or shell out thousands of dollars for major repairs. Compounding the issue, Chrysler was slow to acknowledge the problem, and many customers were left without recourse for costly repairs. The 2.7 LV6's reputation for unreliability was so severe that it tanked resale values of vehicles equipped with this engine. What was initially intended to be a high-volume, mass-market engine became a symbol of poor engineering and corporate neglect, severely damaging Chrysler's reputation in the late 1990s and early 2000s. Ferrari 2.0L Turbo FIV 8, Ferrari 208 GTB. The Ferrari 208 GTB, produced in the 1980s, is one of the rarest models in Ferrari's history. Built primarily for the Italian market to avoid heavy taxation on engines larger than 2.0 litres, the 208 GTB featured a turbocharged 2.0-litre V8 engine. While Ferrari is synonymous with power, speed, and thrilling driving experiences, this engine failed to meet the lofty expectations set by the brand. With only 220 horsepower, the turbocharged 2.0-litre V8 was the smallest engine Ferrari ever put in a production vehicle. Although the addition of a turbocharger helped boost output slightly, the 208 GTB was significantly underpowered compared to its larger engine siblings, like the 308 GTB. The engine's performance was hampered by turbo lag, which made acceleration feel slow and unresponsive compared to the naturally aspirated engines Ferrari was known for. Moreover, the 2.0 LV8 lacked the raw, visceral sound that Ferrari engines are famous for, leaving enthusiasts underwhelmed. While it was a necessary compromise for tax reasons, the 208 GTB's engine failed to capture the excitement and spirit of Ferrari's other models, ultimately leaving it as one of the brand's less memorable vehicles. While rare, the 208 GTB is often seen as a low point in Ferrari's illustrious history due to its underwhelming performance. Mitsubishi 3.0 LV6, Mitsubishi 3000 GT SL. The Mitsubishi 3000 GT particularly the VR4 model, was a technological marvel of the 1990s, known for its twin turbocharged engine, all-wheel drive system, and impressive performance. However, the base model, the 3000 GT SL, featured a naturally aspirated 3.0-liter V6 engine, which significantly undercut the excitement that surrounded the VR4. The 3.0-liter V6 in the 3000 GT SL produced around 220 horsepower, far less than the 320 horsepower churned out by the twin-turbo VR4. While 220 horsepower wasn't terrible for its time, the SL lacked the turbocharging all-wheel drive and four-wheel steering that made the VR4 such a standout performer. This meant that the SL, despite sharing the same flashy design and hefty price tag, couldn't deliver the performance enthusiasts expected from a car that looked like a high-performance machine. In addition to the performance gap, the naturally aspirated V6 suffered from common issues, including oil leaks and timing belt problems, which could lead to expensive repairs. The engine's uninspiring performance combined with its reliability concerns made the 3000 GT SL a less desirable option for buyers, especially those hoping for a true sports car experience. In the shadow of its more powerful sibling, the 3000 GT SL's 3.0-liter V6 engine left much to be desired, and it's often remembered as a disappointment for buyers who expected more from a car that looked like it was built for speed. Oldsmobile Diesel V8, Oldsmobile Cutlass. In the late 1970s, General Motors attempted to jump on the diesel bandwagon in response to rising fuel prices. To quickly develop a diesel engine, GM converted its existing gasoline V8 into the infamous Oldsmobile Diesel V8, which powered a variety of GM models, including the Oldsmobile Cutlass. Unfortunately, the rushed design led to catastrophic failures and left a lasting stain on GM's reputation for years. The Oldsmobile Diesel V8 was notorious for poor reliability, largely due to its weak head bolts and lack of design adjustments necessary for a diesel engine. The high compression needed for diesel operation caused the head bolts to stretch and break, leading to blown head gaskets and engine failure. Additionally, the fuel injection system was problematic, and many engines suffered from fuel contamination, leading to further damage. The engine also delivered weak performance, with sluggish acceleration and rough operation that failed to meet the expectations of diesel buyers who sought durability and efficiency. Even though diesel engines are typically praised for longevity, the Oldsmobile Diesel V8 often failed within 50,000 miles, a stark contrast to the millions of miles diesel engines are known for today. GM's mishandling of the Diesel V8 led to numerous lawsuits and warranty claims, and the engine's failure hurt consumer confidence in both diesel technology and GM's engineering for years to come. DeLorean PRV V6, DeLorean DMC-12. The DeLorean DMC-12 is one of the most iconic cars in pop culture history, thanks largely to its starring role in the Back to the Future movies. However, its fame in film was not matched by its real-world performance, which was severely hampered by the underwhelming PRV 2.8 LV6 engine. The PRV V6 was the result of a joint venture between Peugeot, Renault, and Volvo, and it was never intended for a high-performance sports car like the DeLorean. Producing only 130 horsepower, the engine was woefully underpowered for a car that had the looks of an exotic sports car. This lack of power led to sluggish acceleration, with the DeLorean DMC-12 struggling to reach 60 miles per hour in over 10 seconds. In addition to the weak performance, the PRV V6 was plagued with reliability issues. It was known for poor build quality and frequent mechanical problems, including overheating and oil leaks. The engine simply couldn't live up to the DeLorean's futuristic design and high expectations from buyers who anticipated a thrilling driving experience. Despite its stylish stainless steel body and gull-wing doors, The DeLorean DMC-12 was critically panned for its lackluster engine, which failed to provide the excitement or reliability needed for long-term success. The PRV V6 remains one of the key reasons why the DeLorean never achieved commercial success, despite its cult status in cinema. And there you have it, the 15 engines that turned legendary cars into letdowns. But here's the real question. Could there be even more engines out there that deserve a spot on this list? What about the ones we didn't mention? Let us know your thoughts in the comments. You won't want to miss what we're working on next, so be sure to subscribe and hit the notification bell. Thanks for watching, and stay tuned for more surprises and deep dives into the world of cars right here